Hey everybody, it's Annette. Apologize for any background noise. Birds are settling down for the night. Got to feed and water them and put them up. Had one of the three ferals come up wanting to be fed now. So I stopped the other video and I'm like, I'm going to do a do-over. And then got one neighbor cutting grass. We've had a lot of rain and we needed it so badly. So what I've been doing now that the ground is actually not concrete, I've been determining what plants I want to put in ground and then what I'm going to end up taking inside to overwinter as we get closer. This is about the time of the year you want to start thinking about that because you don't want to do it all at one time. And so I've done a lot of reels lately. I've been like, just be honest with you, it's too busy to do full-length videos. And so I wanted to talk about a topic, and I don't know, I guess because I've been in the workplace long enough, and tonight's topic won't deal with my workplace specifically, but it will deal with real experiences I've had, and I may have to do it in another part. But have you ever been a target at work? Not the person targeting, but the person being targeted. You are working somewhere, you're doing everything you're being told to do. Nothing you're doing is good enough or right, or you have different people telling you different things and then blaming you when it didn't go the way it was supposed to go, especially if you were in training. I dealt with a lot of that when I was in distribution, and actually tonight's video is going to reflect on a lot of that. The hell I experienced working there, and then it was 2020 and everything was breaking loose. There was nowhere to find work and I really felt trapped. So it was not good. It would have been difficult under normal circumstances because it was a lot of work. It was very hard. Logistics is not easy work at all. When you click on that item you're putting in your cart and then somebody's delivering that to you, you would be amazed if you don't know what goes on behind all that. So for whatever reason, I was targeted multiple times, but this one particular thing really was kind of like over the top targeting. And I'll tell you what I did about it and then give you some ideas of what you can do about it and how to protect yourself. One of the processing assistants I used to supervise said it was Annette's CYA plan that I had taught them, and it really is. So having worked decades and seeing a lot of, seems like it's just gotten really, really toxic. There used to be, depending where you work, like some places, if you worked, it was going to be a toxic place to work. And then other places, if it was more administrative, more office type work, you were treated usually better. So this particular position, it was office in a warehouse. It was administration, outbound and inbound logistics. So the thing that happened to me was our particular time clock, and a lot of companies run this way. The hospital ran this way too. I don't know if it was Chronos, but it was like the Chronos system. So whatever your timekeeping system is, where you have to badge in, badge out, normally if you can't do it, there's a 7-minute window you can't do it. It rounds everything off. We got 20 people or however many people in line trying to clock in. They give you a window You can clock in as early as 7 minutes before, or I'm trying to think, yeah, 7 minutes before, and you'll still be considered as, say, you're clocking in at 8 and you clock in at 7:53, it's going to round off to 8. If you clock in at 8:07, it's still going to round off to 8. Anything beyond that will be in 15-minute increments. So 7:50, 53, 55, go backwards in it. 7:52 is 8 minutes, and that's going to show that you clocked in at 7:45. Likewise, come here, got a cat again. Likewise with 8:08, that's going to clock you in at 8:15. So if you've worked with these systems, you'll know what I'm talking about. So one night I was leaving work, and it was, I think it had gotten down to the last 2 minutes. There were 3 security guards because I was the last one to leave in the evening because we didn't have rotating shifts. We were only running one at that time. So I was with the guards, and it got 2 minutes till, and they were clocking out, and I clocked out too. So 2 minutes till would have been whatever, 5:58, 6:58, depending if it was a later evening or whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Drove my merry self home. Had whatever my bedtime routine was, and then get up the next day and go back and do it again. Get a call from my supervisor who was in another city. The main office was run in one of the bigger city hubs, and then we were in a smaller area. They had created one in one place. There was building already was existed, but they put shelves and everything in, rebuilt everything from the ground up to house this up and coming distribution center. So I get a call the next day from the woman who supervised me and said, "Nanette, you clocked out early." I was like, "I didn't clock out till 2 minutes till time to go." And I said, "There were 3 security guards who clocked out at the same time." I said, "That should not have come out to be that." And she said, "Well, it's showing you clocked out early." I was like, "What now? What now?" I said, "Okay, I will watch more carefully." I mean, what can you say to that? She's declaring that I clocked out early. I didn't have the evidence. So I told my husband about it, and he said, "Start taking photos." And I did. I literally, the last 3 months I was there, would get my phone out, hold my badge up to the time clock, take a photo with my phone, and the clock had the time and date stamp on there. I did that coming and going for the last 3 months of my existence at that horrible facility. I also kept all my emails because that's where you have your evidence. So if you find yourself as a target and you know it, you start kind of getting shunned feeling. You may have a couple people who are, still open and talking to you, but you are treated like a modern day leper. It is one of the most isolating and hurtful things a human being can experience. So, when you realize you're a target, you're going to be putting up with constantly people looking for a way to get you out. Was not liked from the get-go there because I had come from hospital administration and I got referred to as white collar. I was just trying to make money and have benefits. Didn't care at the time. I got what I could. I didn't look down on anybody. I was probably kinder to people, and even would have some people come into my office and just sit down and just talk to me. They knew they could talk to me and I wouldn't go rat them out. I would listen to them. I would talk to them because everybody is a human being. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter their looks, their race, their whatever, sexuality. They're human. And just being able to talk to people and have people comfortable to talk with me, that did help me. And I was on committee to assist with, through corporate, assist with employee relations and engagement and stuff like that. And that really opened the door for me to be able to talk to a lot of people and get people to talk to me too. And just non-confrontational, just have good conversations, as well as, of course, keep up with all the other work I was doing. So when you're a target and you know that they are looking for a way to get rid of you, I prefer not to have, and different people say different things, I prefer not to have a termination on my record. I want to have a clean record like I have good credit. So if you're a target and you've been doing everything humanly possible, you've been meeting deadlines, you've been coming to work on time, staying all day and sometimes even extra if it called for it, working on weekends during the busy seasons, doing everything right, treating every driver that came through there like a friend, like, hey, how you doing? I mean, that's just me. It's like they're coming to, like when they came to the lobby and to the office window, it's like they are guests in my house, is how I felt. And so I was always really approachable with them, and also the security guards, because they're the ones who are looking all around those trucks to make sure dangerous things aren't being brought in, and they're keeping us safe. They're there to call if we need anything, if anything crazy starts going down. So, I mean, it wasn't my work or lack of, it wasn't missing work. I rarely missed work in that environment. It's just, you don't have time, honestly, because you don't have the backup like some other places. There were only 2 administrators, and one would cover for me. I would cover for her when one was going to be out. But it was intensified. Take something that's already very, very busy, intensify it by, I can't even quantify that. But we made it work, because you have to hustle from the moment you get there to the moment you leave. So it's not your fault. You're doing everything right. You're working hard. Your accuracy is right. Clearly, you know it's not you. What do? You can either continue living in that hellscape and wait for them to fire you, because they eventually will, or eventually will upset you enough to where you walk out, which is not good either. You don't want that on your resume, because then you've incinerated that bridge, and you're going to need those hoo-hoos to maybe give you a reference. And you're going to pick the nicest hoo-hoo that you knew or that you interacted with in there, or having different supervisors, the one who wasn't the crazy supervisor, or a director or something. I think I put the director because I initially started under him, and then when they got it running, they put me under someone else. So pick one person who, in your brain, have one person in your mind who you form, a good working relation with, that's at a leadership or managerial level, so that you can come back to that. Sometimes you can't take it and you have to walk out, or you're just going to have a stroke and fall over. I didn't want to do that. I needed the money. I needed the benefits. So what do? You start formulating your escape plan. You start backing up, printing off every email that shows, because normally when they're communicating, you can't do anything about the phone calls and stuff like that. But a lot of communication is through email. There's anything in there that constitutes even a whisper of evidence that would counter what they may accuse you of or blame you for, or say you did or did not do well, keep those emails, print them off, take them off site, take them home. That's not stealing. You're not taking company property. You are taking your email evidence. I'm not saying to take office equipment home, okay? I want to make that clear. We don't steal. But to print off your emails for evidence because you know you've been a target, that's necessity. That's survival. While you're doing that, building your folder of evidence in case things do go sideways before you get out of there, you are going to be in the background looking for somewhere else to work. It's exhausting, but you have to protect yourself. It's not going to work there. If you can barely see yourself there the next week or two, you're not going to make it for the next 5 years. Not without going back crazy and getting locked up somewhere. So get your emails for your evidence. Take your evidence with you. Look for something behind the scenes. That can be when you're at home. It can be, normally it has to be at home, because if you do it on the work computer, you're going to get caught on the work computer. You can't do that. There you're for sure, if you're a target, you're going to get fired. So when you're at home, evenings or weekends or whenever that is, or whatever days you have off, start looking. If you've not souped up your resume to add skills you've gained since the last time you wrote your resume, do that now. Build up that resume, have some copies, have it on your computer, start finding places that are interesting and within your budget to work. So you're dealing with one place and you're drawing the money, you're getting the benefits, you're doing the work, you've got the income. So that's something you don't have to worry about right now. But that, even though that could end any day because they're after you. So don't go in debt. For all you do, don't go in debt. If you have debt, continue to pay that down or off if at all possible. Look for something. Go to those interviews. Take personal time if you need to, or PTO time if you get an interview during the work schedule. Because sometimes, especially in distribution, you're working sometimes 10 hours a day. Well, weekdays and weekends, sometimes. It was nuts. You're going to take PTO. You're going to do what you have to do to make it to that interview. When you find where you want to interview, you're going to research the place. Go over the skill sets that you have, and then you will find something, and then you're going to turn in a notice, because the person who's hiring you, when they say that you're going to turn in a notice where you are there, that makes you a more respected applicant. If they say, how much notice do you need? Well, I'm in a key role. I would like to give them at least 3 weeks to get through this busy rush. And that's what I did. So you will find something, you will give notice, and then you will go on to the next place, and then you will have the wisdom to be able to share it with other people who may be going through it now too. And if you are, I'm so sorry. It is a horrible, horrible feeling to be targeted, especially when you've done nothing. I'm looking to see if my timer's still timing. Yeah. But I pray for you. Hang in there. You are not alone. You are not the only one this has ever happened to, and you won't be the last person it happened to. And you may end up getting targeted somewhere else later down the road. And I did. It was a completely different situation, but we might go over that in another video. But for right now, that's how you can survive when you are being targeted. You need your income, you need your benefits, you need that livelihood. Be strong, keep going, keep up the fight, and then before you know it, you'll be able to just walk away from it, and you'll have something there waiting on you, a nice fresh start with people who do appreciate you. Love you, take care, and I wish y'all the best. This is Annette. Till next time, good night.